Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerd for No Reason podcast, your home for nerd culture news and movie reviews. I am your fantastic host, Mark.
And I think that was such a nice little intro you just did. Oh my goodness. But hey, what's up, guys? I'm Raven. I also hang out here with Mark and
Yeah,
chat about stuff.
yeah, I realized I said I'm the host. I am the co-host. I don't want to take anything away from Raven because this show would be nothing without Raven.
It's all good, man.
So what's up, man? I ain't talked to you all week. How's things been going?
Busy, busy, busy.
Indeed.
This new daylight saving is kicking my butt.
Oh, what? You mean going to bed at being dead tired to the world at 7:30?
It's even before then. I feel like I just get off work and I'm instantly like, yeah, I could just go lay in bed right now and probably pass out. But then I'm only sleeping 3 or 4 hours a night because my body's like, why are you asleep so early?
Mm-hmm.
So messed up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I love absolutely waking up at 4:30 in the morning going, well, I had all the sleep I'm going to get. That's bad enough when that happens during regular time, and now I'm doing it because, reasons. And, it's the worst.
Such a pain. Why do we even do it?
I don't know. But I will say, I don't know if it's a time change or what it was, but this week, the rare thing happened where I had a complete dream and woke up 30 minutes before my alarm went off. Credits rolled, everything. I was done dreaming, complete story, everything.
Dang.
So
sounds beautiful.
It was actually kind of crazy. I woke up and I was like, huh. Well, I guess I'm done doing all the sleeping I'm going to do. There's nothing really left for me to dream tonight. We robbed the bank and Ocean's 11 that thing up, and I got my cut of the money, and I'm meeting up with this guy in a couple weeks to get the rest of my money, and everything seems to be all right for now. So, I guess I'm awake now. Let's go in here, play a little bit of video games before everyone wakes up, and get a shower and everything. I was dressed and completely ready to go at 6 o'clock in the morning, when usually that's about the time I finally get out of bed and go wake everybody up.
Dang. I hate times like that. Yeah, the time change has confused, especially Boo, just because that old man bladder is like, hey, what's up, guys? We gotta go. But the other night, he had me take him out because he woke up and then woke up Mudslide, and they were like, okay, it's 4 o'clock, let's go outside. And I was like, why? Alarm doesn't go off till 6:30, boys. But they made me, and so I got up and I was like, well, I'm not tired now. So I cleaned my entire kitchen and then laid down for 30 minutes before my alarm went off.
Wow.
Yeah. Time changes. Not easy.
Well.
Not my fave.
Well, this week has been action-packed, especially for the last 3 days of just, hey, we have just a bunch of media stuff to shove down your throat. So,
for real,
you nerds better strap in, because I was not prepared for everything that happened this week. You ready to talk some news? Because we got a lot of ground to cover this week.
Beep, 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 beep. Let's get to it.
Breaking news from Hollywood, California. The strike is over.
Huzzah!
So SAG-AFTRA and the studios reached a 3-year tentative contract. It took them 118 days. Probably only about 25 of them were actually negotiating days. It's wild. The more I hear about the more I read about the story and kind of how unwilling the studios were to negotiate with SAG.
Yeah,
it was crazy, but they reached a deal. It was a lot of it was due to royalties for and scale, and artificial intelligence were kind of the big points of interest. and I guess they reached a deal, which is very good. The stats. Let's see, where was this? Oh crap! I had it pulled up and then I shifted away from it.
Oh no.
It says how. Oh, here we go. The 6 months in Hollywood strikes. Both of the writers and the SAG strikes. They say cost the Southern California economy more than $6.5 billion with a B dollars.
Ooh.
And 45,000 entertainment industry jobs after all the production stopped. So,
Goodness.
yeah, that is wild. But I assume that the plus side to this is now with movies getting back into production, hopefully a lot of these people will get their jobs back. I'm sure they will. And I'm kind of worried about, we talk about this, the long-term effects of the strike. I don't know if you remember back in 2008, I think it was, when the writers went on strike and television was just decimated. You could tell which shows were in the middle of writing when the strike happened because quality plummeted. So,
Yes, I definitely remember that when I was 11 years old. Oof. When I was watching, just constant SpongeBob, probably.
well, kind of the biggest one that I can think of was the show Heroes, which was a super hit back in like 2007, I think is when it came out. And during the middle of the second season, the writers went on strike. And if you watch the difference between the first season of Heroes and how great that was and how much of a phenomenon it was, the second season came out and like the last 2 or 3 episodes were just, what are we even doing? You could tell it was like, all right, this is obviously a first draft. This is, no one went back over it because they couldn't. And it just, they could not recover. They tried to come back to it with a third season and it just stunk up the room so bad. No one was like, no one wanted to be a part of it. So
it's basically like if the last season of Game of Thrones, if they decided they wanted to end or create another season, it'd basically just be like, no thanks, because,
right.
that last season was
as someone who
so
didn't
bad.
watch Game of Thrones, I'm glad I was not invested in that series when it came around to the last season, because hearing people talk about it, I was like, what is going on? I remember every episode people were like, man, this was horrible, man, but they can turn it around next week. I heard that every single episode.
Yeah. I was working at a place where there was enough people watching it that like we'd come in the morning and be like, all right, let's talk about it. It's just, it got worse and worse each week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And me and my friends that played D&D at the time, we all did a Game of Thrones like fantasy draft. Like, yeah, we did like a fantasy league. And we found this app, and it was just like, oh, pick who you think's going to sit on the Iron Throne and whose armies does this and blah, 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 blah. And every week, like, I mopped the floor with them. Didn't know anything. I was just like, I know who Daenerys is, and that's it. I know who Khaleesi is. That's my girl. We're not doing anything else. And we are just, I'm just rooting for her. And every week, I killed, slaughtered. It was
That's so
fantastic. They were so frustrated with me.
Oh, I bet.
So anyway, so the strike is over. The top movies that are coming in, that are starting immediately, Deadpool 3, which they had already started filming. So there's Deadpool 3, Gladiator 2, Beetlejuice 2, which was extremely close to finishing.
So long.
And Venom 3, amongst others, that are probably this weekend getting back to working. You know, they're probably filming stuff right now as we speak. So hooray.
Nice.
Oh, and if that, so it was like, let's see, when did they announce that? That was Wednesday, I think they announced it.
Yes.
So on Thursday, the world went crazy and was like, cool, here's all the trailers we've been waiting to release for 6 months. Here's an announcement from Nintendo saying they're going to make a Legend of Zelda live action film. Now, before I get your reaction on this, Raven, how's Chris doing? Because I know that he is a huge Zelda fan.
Yeah, he is not excited for it. There, of course, have been so many good, like, dumb choices for some of the characters, and, like, I've sent so many of them to Chris, and he's like, stop. I can't take it right now. There was one of, someone was trying to get Michael Cera to be Link. And Chris was just like, I can't. We can't watch this. And so he is, yeah. It's going to be one of those things where it's either going to be like super, super good or it's super going to flop.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't flop.
I'm so concerned because you're basing a movie off of a franchise where the main character canonically has never spoken out loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's inferred that he speaks in Breath of the Wild, but this man does not have a voice actor besides grunt and groans. So this is going to be interesting. But I will say this. With as much crap as the Mario Brothers movie got when they announced Chris Pratt and Keegan-Michael Key and Jack Black and all of those people, the movie itself, the voice actors, the actors themselves was not the problem with that movie. Chris Pratt did fine. We all know how Jack Black made that the role of a lifetime.
God bless.
So, but they have what's his name? Avi Arad as the producer, who is responsible for the first 3 Spider-Man films that Sam Raimi directed. So he's got a track record there. Actually, most of the early Marvel stuff is Avi Arad. So he does have a good track record. And the director, Wes Ball, did Maze Runner and a few other things. So he's not necessarily a bad choice, but we'll see. Yeah. So, you know, we'll see how it goes, man. This is such a wild thing that I never thought was going to happen, because not only is there 25 years worth of lore, where are you going to pull your source data from?
Yeah. There's quite a few options of ways that could go, but, you know. It was just like the Mario movie where you just have to wait and see, and then see how much backlash it gets to maybe get changed.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom are like my 2 favorite games of all time. I don't know. I have seriously bought Nintendo consoles over the years and have only bought Zelda games for them. I had a GameCube and only had Wind Waker. I had a Nintendo 64 and only had the 2 Zelda games. It just kind of worked out that way in my life at the time. I didn't do it intentionally. I was like, boy, I'm going to get all these games. And then I get like the Zelda game with it and play that to my heart's content. And then I'm just like, I'm going to go out and drink, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm sure we are 2-3 years away before this movie comes out. So We'll see.
True, true. You know what I'm super excited about
Let me
for
hear
the
it.
most recent trailer that came out?
What you got?
Inside Out 2.
Really?
Dude, I love the first Inside Out. It's like a movie that anytime I watch it, I know I'm gonna like get super emotional with it. It just the very first time that I watched it, I was just like, this is like one of my favorite Disney movies now. And so I have such a bond with it. So I'm super excited for the second one. You've got that new character. What is it? The one that's like,
Anxiety.
yeah, which will be fun to watch young Riley go through new phases of all that. I wonder how like much you've seen the first one, right?
Oh yeah.
I wonder how much they're really gonna do to show like what the anxiety is making young Riley do. You know, stuff like that, where you get like the little bit of like behind the curtain where it's not just all the little emotions doing their thing.
Yeah, I think they're because the like the last little card that they show where it's where they kind of go through all the emotions. There was a lot more than just anxiety. So I'm like, are they going to have a whole slew of different emotions come through?
Yeah.
And I'm really kind of curious to see, but this movie is one of those movies where it is absolutely primed for, or like it is primed for a sequel already. Like there is a whole lot more to explore with these characters, and I'm all for it. I'm like you. I love the first one, and I cried when Bing Bong died, and if there's one thing about having daughters has done to me is that if I see like girls on screen and they're going through kid stuff, and I'm like, I know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Inside Out 2 is going to put me in that headspace, and I'm going to just break down as I'm watching it.
It will be so well deserved.
But knowing Pixar, one of the parents are going to die or something
Oh no.
while going through puberty.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Well, let me tell you about the trailer that I'm the most excited about that dropped.
Oh goodness.
Ghostbusters. The Frozen Empire.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I love Ghostbusters. We talked about Ghostbusters Afterlife on this very podcast last year with Chris Garrett. And the sequel to that, I'm so glad they brought everybody back. I'm so happy that cast is back and that we just didn't abandon them because we moved to New York and everyone else is still in Kansas or Oklahoma or wherever, Nebraska, wherever it was. Paul Rudd is a treasure. I love him. I love that it appears that we have an original villain. That makes me super happy.
Yeah.
And yeah, this looks like it could be a whole lot of fun, as Ghostbusters movies should be.
Absolutely. Yeah, the first one was just a straight home run. Like, hit that out of the ballpark, you're good to go. This one, I really have high expectations for it. Like you said, Paul Rudd, we've got, what's his name?
Finn Wolfhard?
Yeah, yes. And, he kind of plays like a little shit, kind of, but he, like, they have that nice little moment of where everything gets brought back around, and I don't know. I'm just very excited.
Yeah, and now that
I don't even know how to explain my excitement for, like, so much that went on in that movie.
And now that I think about it, because I saw it in the trailer and it didn't even connect to my brain until right now, that I don't think Finn Wolfhard shot a proton pack in the first movie. I don't think he ever got. I think it was only McKenna Grace who got to shoot one out of like
Oh,
the new cast.
interesting. Yeah,
So
I don't
yeah,
think I noticed that either.
so yeah, it looks like everyone gets a proton pack, which is I'm all for. And McKenna Grace, I don't know if she has the strength or fortitude to continue to carry this entire franchise on her back. So
She's such a great actress for her
she
age,
is,
though.
she is.
Man,
I could. I'm just excited to have her back because she was by far the star of that first movie, and I just love the way she acted with everyone. Honestly, I just want her and Paul Rudd in all the scenes because they were such a
yeah.
fun duo.
Oh my goodness.
So, and if all that was not enough, the one trailer that this is my concern. This is the one I'm going to be sweating bullets about until February.
This one's fine. Yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of this. Go ahead.
I also don't know what to make of it. Chris sent it to me, and I was instantly like, oh boy, because he didn't really say anything in response to it. And I was like, I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. And I was watching it, and like some parts of it look, you know, pretty decent. But then I was like, I haven't watched the actual like Avatar series in like such a long time. I'm having like a hard time trying to like differentiate what I would think is good and bad about certain parts of this. We watched Korra, The Legend of Korra, like like a year or two ago, and that was pretty good. So I feel like I'm gonna base like weird little parts of it off of Aang's journey.
Yeah. See, Avatar is like my favorite animated series of all time.
Really?
I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. And this is, I guess, the first live action movie put such a sour taste in my mouth
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
to see it live again, I'm like, ah. And then to know in the back of my brain that the creators of the series backed out of the production because they weren't seeing eye to eye with Netflix, and I'm just like,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
then and I know that actors are supposed to be like, oh hey, of course it's great and it's wonderful and everything else and blah, and because we've been on strike, the actors can't come on and be like, oh my God, you're going to love it. There's been almost no hype except for fan hype. We
Hmm.
know something's been in the pot cooking for a while.
Yeah.
And we finally get our first look at it, and we don't really get to see a whole lot of bending except for fire. We don't get to see air and water and earth and all this other kind of cool stuff. And I don't know. Cautiously optimistic. All of these movies, and even the Zelda movie that we talked about, they all get the Heath Ledger pass for now. Because as good or as bad as we might think they are, we're not going to know until it comes out. Because we all thought Mario was
Yeah.
going to be horrible. And it wasn't. It was quite charming and a fun watch. But, so we have to wait. February next year is when it comes out. And when it does, I'm sure we're going to talk about it if we're not too busy talking about Twilight or Fast and the Furious. So,
You know what? I will just say, Momo and Appa look so cute.
yes, they do.
Oh my goodness. I want my own little Momo because he's just like those eyes. They just get me. So cute.
So cute. Just a cute
Oh,
little boy.
little baby.
All right. Well,
Speaking of little babies, that's not so baby.
are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Give me just a second. Let me call our special guest in here for the movie review. Hey! All right, ladies and gentlemen, this week we have a very special guest joining us for our movie review. She actually picked this movie, and this is none other than my daughter, Amy.
Hey!
Yay, welcome to the show.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, it's me.
All right, do you want to tell everybody what movie you picked this week?
Okay, so the movie I picked this week is Wallace and
Wallace and Gromet.
Wallace and Gromet, the War Rabbit.
Yes, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
It's the war.
So, we came out of Halloween. We did a non-spooky movie in Barbie, and then we went right back into a spooky movie with Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, seeing how you are a guest, and this is the first time that you have seen this movie, Amy, I will ask you, what did you think of Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit?
Okay, so it was mid. It was like, if I had to rate it out of a 0 to a 10, it'd probably be like 6 maybe.
Okay.
Oh.
So you're
It was not as good as some of the other animated stop motion movies I've watched.
okay. Well, so why don't you tell me what you liked about it?
I like that it was like a bit of a mystery for Dad.
Oh, it was a mystery for me?
Yeah, you didn't know who
Oh.
the monster was.
Oh, that's true.
I like that there was a little elf that was like a human. That was pretty cool.
Okay. Well, that's good. Have you ever seen a Wallace and Gromit movie before?
No.
Oh.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, Raven, what did you think of Wallace and Gromit?
I thought it was so fun to watch. Sorry, I'm still thinking about how Amy just said that it was mid and just kept going. It was, I don't really necessarily like a lot of movies that are claymation unless it's Tim Burton claymation. So this style made me uncomfortable. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm okay with that.
But I like that there's dogs in movie. That's all I really liked.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, Amy.
That dog, not the dog that did everything. Not the
not
pest
Gromit,
control.
but the other one?
Yeah, not Gromit, but the other dog.
Mm-hmm.
Why was the teeth so sharp?
I know,
Because he
right?
was an angry
Yeah.
bulldog.
Like,
I think it was a bulldog.
I think so.
Sasha's a bulldog, and she doesn't got that big of teeth.
Well, no, that's because Sasha's cool.
Yeah, that dog was lame and he was mean.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here on Wallace and Gromit because it was fine. It was like a stereotypical Wallace and Gromit movie, you know, and having spent time in England, having lived there for 3 years, I know
Fair.
the cultural significance of Wallace and Gromit in England. There's a lot of stuff that I saw and I was like, oh, I get that. I know why it's funny. But a joke would happen and then I'd look over at Amy to see if she got it and she
And it just flies over.
stone-faced.
Yes,
Yep.
I was like so confused with some of the parts. Like some of it was just like confusing.
Yeah. But I will say this, as someone who's not creeped out by non-Tim Burton claymation,
Sorry.
I thought this movie was incredibly charming. It was like the right kind of mix of wholesomeness, even when we kind of got into the kind of quote unquote scarier parts of the movie, it was still like very kind of wholesome. and not really spooky to me. Well, actually, I don't want to say spooky because
Yeah, it
we
was
talked
not
about the difference
spooky.
between like scary and spooky and all of that stuff with Wednesday.
It
But
was not scary.
but yeah, like it was
It's spooky.
yeah, it was spooky, not scary.
Wait, what's the definition of spooky?
Kind of fun. Kind of fun and kind of creepy at the same time.
Yeah.
It was like not like the creepy factor was low.
The what?
The creepy factor was low, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't really think it was too creepy?
Yeah, I didn't really think it was too creepy. It was just
Ah.
like, it's not like, yeah, it's not too spooky.
That's fair. So, Amy,
Yeah.
if they were going to get the bunnies to stop eating all the vegetables that were growing and stuff, what were the bunnies supposed to eat? Do you know?
Yeah. They were.
What were they going to eat?
If they wait, what was the question again?
If bunnies are no longer able or want to eat all the vegetables, what are they supposed to eat now? If they get them to not eat vegetables.
You know what I'm thinking right now?
What?
Chicken.
Oh,
You're
okay.
gonna have
That
chicken,
makes sense.
chicken eating rabbits?
Yes.
I mean,
I mean,
They
that's
gotta eat
kind of what I
something.
was thinking. I thought the same thing. Like, what are they supposed to eat if they don't eat vegetables?
Chicken.
You know, this is good.
I don't know. They don't have like, good canine teeth.
That's true.
They've just got those two little.
They
Chomp
could eat
chomps
chicken
in the front.
nuggets.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Dino nuggets.
Eat dino nuggets. That's what the rabbits are.
Yeah.
The dino nuggets, huh?
Or they could eat pizza rolls.
You know what? I want to see a rabbit eating a pizza roll.
I think that'd be pretty cute.
I think it would too.
That'd be funny.
Just a little arm, just,
Nom nom nom
just-
nom nom nom.
just eating it up.
No.
Let's see. Voice cast. I want to talk voice cast real quick.
Yes,
Voldemort was Wallace, which I think
yep.
is fantastic.
Baltimore. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
the guy who is Voldemort
Ralph
in
Fiennes.
the Harry Potter movies, the guy who plays Voldemort is the guy who voices Wallace.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Let's see. Helena Bonham Carter was in it. It was like it had
My
everybody
goodness.
that a Tim Burton movie would have, just not a Tim Burton movie. So,
Fair. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask the next question.
okay.
Okay. So, what was like, Miss Raven, what was like the weirdest part of the movie to you?
Why'd that dog know how to do everything?
Which dog?
Gromit.
Gromit. Why is he over there cutting up all the food using a knife to feed the bunnies? How's he doing all this stuff? Dogs don't have thumbs.
Yeah, but here, okay.
That's so weird and crazy.
But. It was an
Oh.
animated movie. Animations can do whatever they want. They can make
Okay.
a dog do a backflip.
I don't know. What did you find that was the craziest part of this movie?
Probably whenever all their eyes were blinking. Like, you know those picture frames on the wall that had all their customers?
Yes.
Yes, like whenever their eyes started blinking, I was like, what? Why? Because, like,
That's
their
fair.
eyes would, like, pop out a bit. And, like, they had, like, a whole one of the queen and stuff. It was really creepy and weird.
What about you, Mark? What did you think was the craziest, kookiest thing here?
Oh man, the craziest, kookiest thing. It has to be when he changes into the rabbit.
Okay.
That was simultaneously the craziest thing in the entire movie. It was at the same time the most horrifying thing in this movie. And it was the most wildly tame, wholesome, yet horrifying thing in this movie.
Never.
Watching this man
think-
like violently turn into a fluffy rabbit was just kind of like it was like American Werewolf in London, but instead
you
of
go.
turning into a werewolf, he turns into a big giant rabbit.
No. That was
I
not
was-
the scariest part. Okay. So the scariest part was whenever. Wait, is Wallace the dog?
Grommet.
Grommet is whenever Grommet is finding the footsteps and he's walking back in the house and he's going up the stairs and he's going into Wallace's room and then the footprints start to turn into human footprints.
Mm-hmm.
That was like
That is a classic horror movie trope that you
It
got to
sure
witness
is.
for the very first time in a Wallace and Gromit
Ooh.
movie.
Ooh, very nice.
So I'm glad that you got to see that in probably the most tamest environment possible. Because when you
real.
see it for real in like a real horror movie, you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is like Wallace and Gromit. Everything's gonna be fine."
nope, not today. They're gonna turn into human footsteps after monster.
That's right.
Or they gonna be human footsteps and then they gonna turn into monster footsteps.
Mark, do you think that this transformation was better than some of the werewolf transformations we saw just last month?
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
That's Dad's question.
Yes.
Yes, it was. I liked it better. You could tell that they very much got their inspiration from those classic movies that like me and you have watched when we were younger. Very
Yeah.
much, I dare say, Thriller, American Werewolf
Okay.
in London, things like that. Like there was, in its own Aardman animation way, it was very much a kind of first the hands turn and then the ears turn and then the face turns. Like it was very kind of systematic, but it wasn't like these more common or more newer horror movies where like the skin is, peeling off. and things like-
Disintegrating.
right.
Yeah.
So, important note that I knew it happened, but I want to say it now so I don't forget. This movie was the last movie that was released before this studio, Aardman Animation, had a studio fire come through and literally wipe out 30 years worth of Wallace and Gromit and everything else that they had done.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it came through and I mean, it burnt down. They lost everything. It happened in 2005, the same year this movie came out. So they had wrapped filming on this and then a fire went through and it was just a complete and total loss. And for a studio like this that has all of that history, that is an Oscar-winning
Yeah.
studio, it's hard for someone like this to come back. But they did, because most recently they did a segment for Star Wars Visions 2. They did a neat little segment, which was done in that Aardman animation style.
Oh.
So, I mean, they're still doing stuff. They've released Wallace and Gromit stuff since then. So,
Okay. All right.
Amy, were you familiar with the scene that at the end of towards the end of the movie, when Wallace, as the big giant rabbit, was climbing up the side of the castle, and it was very like King Kong.
Yay!
Did you understand that reference with?
Nope.
Nope. You said yes. You absolutely said yes. Like, I get it. And then when I asked you, nope, don't get it at all.
Dang.
Uh,
Your kid has no.
absolutely no frame
Oh
of
my
reference.
goodness. Mark, you failed her.
I'm not just his kid. I'm his daughter.
So, okay, fine. Well, now we have to watch King Kong so you
There you go.
can see King Kong climbing to the top of the Empire State Building. What about? Did you get the same kind of feeling that I got, that their villain, the main villain guy, who was the guy who was trying to
Shoot the
woo the princess lady or
Yeah,
duchess
whatever.
lady.
Her ladyship.
Yes, her ladyship. That he had very Gaston energy from Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Very much.
What about you, Amy? Did you catch that vibe?
Yes.
Where he was
I
like, I shall hunt the beast and kill the beast.
a bit. Like, if I was like comparing the voices together out of like a 5, it'd probably be like a 3 maybe.
Okay.
It was pretty good.
All right, well, cool. Well, I will say this, Raven, and it sounds like we all kind of feel this way, that honestly, as much fun as this movie felt like it should be, I ultimately wasn't kind of that impressed with it. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it just didn't. I don't feel like I want to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that one time our school showed it, I was like, why are they showing this movie? They could be showing like a better movie.
Yeah. They could be
They
showing
could be-
Disney
They
movies.
They could be like showing like Beauty and the Beast live action.
Oh,
But instead
you're
they're
right.
showing us Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, well, I mean, Wallace and Gromit was probably the safest thing they could have showed you. I mean, I get it, but it's not something where the kids are going to be like, "Yeah, Wallace and Gromit, woo!" No one's going to be super fired up for Wallace and Gromit, but also no one's going to go home and be like, "Man, they made us watch Wallace and Gromit today."
And really, that's what I said the day that they gave us that. I said, ugh, they made us watch Wallace and Gromit and eat popcorn.
Ugh, I hate when school makes you not do schoolwork and you watch a movie and eat popcorn.
Yes!
That's the worst.
No, the popcorn was stale. That's like my only complaint. The popcorn was stale.
no.
Ain't no
I
stealing
wish that was my
popcorn.
biggest complaint.
Mark, why is your kid bougie?
I know.
Someone that
no,
worked
she's
in
super
a movie
bougie.
theater. I loved multiple day old popcorn.
Oh.
I'm not super
Oh
bougie.
no, you're bougie. Raven said it, not
I'm
me.
not super bougie. I'm not.
Yep. All right.
If I was super bougie, I would want a Lamborghini whenever I'm 16.
You do want a Lamborghini when you're 16.
Nuh-uh. I want a G-Wagon.
Got her.
Oh, my bad. She wants a G-Wagon. She don't even know what
Yeah,
a
get it
G-Wagon
right,
is.
Mark.
Mm-hmm. I know what a G-Wagon is.
Who makes the G-Wagon?
Toyota.
Yep, the Toyota G-Wagon. That's my favorite car.
Oh
I
my
can't wait for the
God.
Toyota G-Wagon to drop.
No. It's not Toyota.
Oh my goodness.
My brain went blank.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and wrap up this this Wallace and Gromit talk. Do you have anything else you want to say about Wallace and Gromit?
Who, me?
Yes, Amy. I'm sorry.
Okay, you need to be more specific. Who?
Yes, you're right. I do. My bad.
More Pacific.
Because there's 3 people now. Okay, so, okay, so, I have, like, such a weird question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Why did they have to have such big gardens for everyone? Like, they were only going for, like, one big festival. But
Well-
they had to have, like, a whole huge garden.
Well, yeah, but it was a
Yeah.
garden festival. They had been
Because they have to grow as many different, like, sets of carrots and as many different watermelons as possible so they can find whichever one will be the biggest, and then they exclusively try and take care of that one more.
Okay.
That's why.
Do you have any questions, Miss Raven?
Nope. I don't.
Dad, do you?
I do not.
Okay. I have one last question.
Okay, what's your last
This
question?
might not be the last one.
Okay, what you got?
Okay. So, why in the movie were all of, like, the buildings and why were, like, in the movie all of the buildings and stuff had to, like, be so tall?
Oh, that's a British thing.
Wait, they're in Britain? Wait, they're in
Yeah,
England?
yeah,
They're in England,
Yeah,
yep.
they're in England. So
That's why they have silly little accents. Did you notice that they
British.
weren't? There you go. Perfect.
you did say America right.
America.
There you go.
You taught me well.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. America.
Oh,
No, it's
No.
America.
there you go.
Remember that video Mom made?
Yes. So, when I was in Colorado last month, Amy and Kelly went to a local art studio, and they got to paint pigs.
Frankenpigs.
Yes, they got to paint Frankenpigs, all these different colors. And what did yours look like, Amy?
Mine was like a monstrosity of purple, pink, pumpkins, bats, some random Halloween stuff.
And Kelly
I wanna say it, I wanna
Kelly
say it, I
did
wanna say
one that was red, white, and blue.
Oh,
So she
nice.
sent Dad a video and was like, "My pronouns are USA."
Yes, my pronouns are
Very nice.
USA, and
You mean it's
the
USA?
kids told me that it took her like 20 minutes to say that without laughing because she was cracking up every time she said it.
Oh goodness,
It literally did. It took us so long.
that's so good.
No.
That was such a good video.
No,
Oh my
you can
goodness.
probably hear Alice in the back of that video. I'm about to crack up.
All right, so let's move on to my favorite part of the week. Amy, do you know what my favorite part of the week on the podcast is? This is the part of the week where we get to be thankful for the little things that have made us happy over this previous week. And I want you to tell everybody what has made you happy this week.
What's made me happy this week
Yes.
is drinking Kool-Aid, eating Go-Gurts, eating toaster strudels, and riding my scooter.
Hey yo.
Yo. You know what? I can't. I'm not even gonna say nothing about it. That sounds like a great week.
It is.
Sounds bussin'.
Bussin' indeed. Bussin' indeed. Raven, why don't you tell everybody what has made you happy this week?
It's been another lovely week of grooming dogs. But this week, it was kind of warm at the beginning of the week. I don't know if this happened to you guys down there in lowly little Georgia, sitting down at the bottom of the states.
We are not down there that much.
You are.
But
No, we're not.
it got a little warm this week. And I was not super happy because it's supposed to be sweatshirt weather. And I'm supposed to be able to wear my beanie for 5 days in a row without washing my hair. But no, I went outside and was like, it's 78 degrees here in the morning. So we finally got a nice little rain shower within the past 2 days. And the weather is coming back down and making it so wonderfully comfy, cozy, chilly.
Well, it has been very gloomy around here. It has not been the best weather.
That's my favorite weather. I love the rainy weather.
No, that's the days where you can just like chill on your couch and watch TV all day long.
True.
Okay, Dad.
Mr. Mark.
What was your favorite thing this week?
My favorite thing this week has been the past probably about 20, 30 minutes of recording this podcast with Amy. This has been so much fun. I genuinely didn't know what to expect, but kiddo, you've killed it. I'm super proud of you. I I've had such a fantastic time just watching the movie with you and just doing fun stuff with you. It's been a blast.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Did you just hit? She just hit herself on like this desk that she has somehow avoided the entire time.
Bless.
Until now.
Oh my goodness!
There's no bandage on it.
I'm so proud of you, kiddo. All right, baby girl. You want to tell everybody where they can find you on social media?
What up, guys? You can find me over at Webkins and
Yeah.
Club Penguin, but not anymore.
You can
because
find me
those
on
both
Blooket.
Don't exist. Oh God.
You can find me on that Board of Education website.
Now I can find me on YouTube Skull on Ever Shorts.
No, you can't find you on YouTube. Absolutely not. All right.
They'll just see me scrolling all day long.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Goodness.
They will not find me on Blooket at all. Blooket's so overrated.
So overrated. Absolutely overrated.
It is. I never do that. Oh, tell them what the opposite of bussin' is.
Dumping. Raven knows that. She likes it.
Yep.
It's not dumping.
It absolutely is dumping.
So
It's
what is
not.
it, Amy?
Yeah.
So, bussin'? I need to teach y'all what real words mean
Yes,
in the
yes.
kid
Please
language.
tell me what real words mean.
Hey, Amy, what does Ohio mean?
Oh, I'm not about to answer that. It's not swag.
Okay. Mark, we'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay. All right. Listen, Giggle Black.
Anyways.
All right. Hey, we're about to sign off, okay?
Okay, love you.
All right. I love you too.
Thank you for letting me join.
Thank you for being on the show with us.
Y'all can find me on Nerd for No Reason.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. All right.
Bye-bye.
Raven. Now,
Yes, Mark.
now that Hurricane Amy has left the room, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and the show on the social medias?
On the social medias, you can find me on ye old Instagram, where I hang out as That's So Raven Ellis. Or, primarily, my favorite place to engage in the online presence is a platform formerly known as Twitter that I hang out as Spooky_Raven. You can find our lovely little podcast, as Amy said, at Nerd for No Reason podcast. I almost said possum. I was like, possum? I don't know. Anyways, we're everywhere. Go look there.
Yeah, we are.
Wherever you want. Mark, where are you?
I am on all the social medias at Turtles Do It, Twitter, Instagram, the two big ones. Make sure that you check out the TikToks. We're still posting stuff there. I'm probably going to shoot some stuff for that tomorrow evening.
Ooh, ooh.
I'm not real sure. I don't even have an idea for a video yet. So yeah, where I'm just kind of just talking about movies and stuff or whatever. I think the last one I did was just talking about what it was like getting anime back in the late 80s, early 90s before it became popular. So,
Oof.
yeah, it was a whole thing.
Rough living.
Yes. So yeah, it's just kind of whatever strikes my fancy. And yeah, so check it out, man. We're trying to do big things. We got a big year coming up. And now that we are in November proper, like next month is December, and we actually have a full year of movie reviews and talking about movies under our belt. So we are going to do a heck of a year-end wrap-up, I think.
It's gonna be crazy.
I was thinking, Raven, I'm going to run this past you right now live on the air. Why don't we do an end-of-year award ceremony, for lack of better terms, and we'll call it the Nerdies.
All right.
And,
Wonderful.
And we will give out a nerdy to our favorites movie of the year that we've enjoyed the most. I'm sure we can do actor and actress and probably like I don't know, whatever goofy thing we can come up with. So, yeah.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah. So, which means that I need to go through and update our letterbox on the site because I don't think I've done it in like 2 months of updating the movies that we've reviewed. So, because I'm a slacker.
I mean, that's a lot, man. That's cool.
So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit us up on the socials. Follow us, rate and review us, and let us know how we're doing and what movie you'd like to see us do next. I love you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Go and do something wonderful in the world today.
You guys go ingest the super coolest, probably not Wallace and Grometist movies and media, and we'll see you here next week on the Nerd for No Reason podcast. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.